Look, Anselmo doubted me. Hip Cricket doubted me. I'm back.
Oh my gosh.
I now can get emails on my phone, which I've always wanted to do, but I pretended I didn't because I wanted to be different than everybody else. You saw through that ruse, didn't you? Ruse. Have you ever heard of the word ruse? R-U-S-E. Look it up. Ruse. It's an elaborate plan, elaborate scheme is really what it is. Ryan, by the way, says that's a 5 to 8 minute montage if I've ever heard one. Well done, young man. That was a lot. Do that again? I'm sorry.
Ruse. A trick? Stratagem or artifice?
Yeah. I think artifice is like part of your bodily functions. Like, isn't it an artifice like opening in your body?
Or an action intended to mislead?
Yeah.
Deceive or trick?
See? Oh, I don't want to check my email on my phone. I don't need to. I've always wanted to. I've always envied people like you. You're over there looking at your emails. And everyone says, what are you doing? I'm looking at my emails. And I'm like, I can't look at my emails because I don't know how to do it. And now I do.
How did someone get on your phone? I thought that was impossible. I
did think it was impossible. Well, everybody else had said so. I had 3 other people try. They all kind of looked at me and said, nope, got no idea. And then, well, you know what they all do? And we asked other people, but because they don't even want to try, there are so many people that don't. When you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, you've got to try a little kind. There's not enough kindness in the world right now, Tennessee. So instead of just saying, yeah, I'll give it a try, they go, what kind of phone you got? Samsung. I don't know how to do it. Don't know how to do it. Don't know how to do it. Well, you could try. But they all want to say they don't. Because I think I might be the only person in this building that has a Samsung phone. Everybody else has Apple.
Yeah.
And I've already explained why I don't have Apple. Because my boys convinced me to get one. The battery kept draining. You and everybody else laughed at me. Well, turn off your apps. I said, well, if I haven't turned them on, why do I have to turn them off? Then about a week later, the story broke. Big tech news. Apple batteries are draining more rapidly than ever. So I was right. But I never got any apologies from you or anybody else out there saying, boy, sorry we laughed at you. And then, you know what? I have feelings, too. When you guys were laughing at me, I'd go home and cry myself to sleep, curled up in the fetal position. Did you hear I read something? Is this one of those scare tactic stories? When you sleep, do you have your arms like scrunched up? Because it says if your arms are scrunched up when you sleep, you can cause long-term nerve damage and you'll turn into a praying mantis. But that's not even possible.
I've learned that there's like really no right way to sleep.
Right. I think you're right.
Whatever position you're in, something bad comes from it.
And so when I went, unless you really think about it, I don't know I know I sleep on my side. I'm a side sleep, but I don't know, do I scrunch my hands? So I got into bed. Do you have a hugging pillow?
I do.
I do too.
I do snuggle with a pillow,
yes. I can't live without one now anymore if I don't have one. You know, I saw another story too trying to freak me out. I'm going on a vacation not long from now. It says, hotels, they change your pillowcases, but sometimes the pillows are there for years.
Ugh.
And there's like things growing in there and there's mites and stuff like that. And it's like, so now I don't know what to do.
Well, even just take away that. There's nothing more uncomfortable than a hotel pillow.
Yeah.
They're always the worst.
That's exactly right. Unless you go to one of those Ben Lieber high-end ones. Did I tell you about that? I think he played football for San Diego. So I'm going to San Diego for a couple of days. I go, where should I stay, Ben? He recommends a hotel, right? Ben made a lot of money in his career, I think. Because when I went to that hotel, let's just say it's 4 figures a night.
Plus. Sure.
Which I understand with how the real world works, but it's like, have I told you what my checking account is down to?
What?
Can you keep a secret?
Sure.
$65,000. So it's like, well, I guess I could fork out thousands and thousands of dollars for a 3-night stay. But then when you're on vacation, you don't even spend much time in your hotel room, right? I just look at it as
sleep in there.
Yeah. So I look at it as that kind of thing. If I was using it more, here's the other thing. I'm going to have 2 travel golf bags, Baby Brother Peter's and mine, and then we'll have like 4 suitcases. So then trying to decide what rental car to get. Have you ever heard of Tetris packing?
No. Like the game Tetris?
What it must be. What is? Yeah, because Tetris packing. They're saying, they're telling me what size SUV I could use to put that much luggage in a car. It said, though, it might require Tetris packing. And I asked my wife, what is Tetris packing? Look it up.
I understand what Tetris is, so that would make sense. Yeah. Tetris is just a bunch of different, like, blocked figures that have different shapes, but you're supposed to try to form them.
Yes. And that's exactly what it is. That's what my wife said. And I'm really good at Tetris packing an SUV. This is going to sound weird, but most of what I say does. As a matter of fact, it's controversial, actually. I'm about to say something controversial. I like packing for a trip and seeing how creative I can get to get as much into that SUV as I can. So here's how good I am at it, too, Tennessee. This is what I've done. I've got 2 golf travel bags and 4 suitcases, plus, carry, my wife will have a purse, and each kid probably have a duffel bag. We've rented a Volkswagen Beetle. And I'm going to jam it all into that Beetle you want. Wait and see. One time we went on vacation, I wanted a convertible so bad that I got a convertible. And everybody's going, I don't think this is going to work. We had stuff stick. It did work, but it wasn't really very smart.
Yeah.
But boy, when the luggage was out, it was sure fun to be tooling around in Tampa Bay with a convertible. But anyway.
The worst is if you're like where meat sauce is at now, when you got Louis, when you have kids that are really young. Because the amount of packing you have to do for a young child. Yes.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, exactly.
You got to bring in the pack and play and an extra bed and a car seat, and it's just nonstop.
And diapers and everything else. Hotel Del Coronado is exactly what it was. Hotel Del Coronado.
I've been there, yeah. Not the hotel, but I've been on that that part of the city.
So you got that $1,500 a night for your hotel?
No, I've not been to that hotel.
And then Lieber, he was here the other day, and he said to me, he goes, they've got a lot of different options. And I go, well, yeah, but still, at that time of the year, it's almost every room is over $1,000. I get it. I mean, it's supply and demand, but at a hotel.
Hotels are always bizarre, though, because there's some that are just too expensive. And then there's also the ones where if it's like under $100, you're like, I'm not staying at that place.
Yeah. Well,
so you have to spend a certain amount.
Yeah. But at least at Motel 6, they keep the light on for you, which is important. Someone just said luggage for 3-day trip. Well, it's more than 3 days. We're staying in, we're staying in Palm Springs for like 4 days, and then we're going to be in San Diego for like 3. The beauty is I'm doing VRBO for the first time. Have you ever done VRBO?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it on the other side of the hour. And then we got Peek at the Purple, and we got so many other games and so much going on. There's plenty to get, including a program password. No little B today, but program password. High Energy Helvey. JG, John Creasel, all coming in. We got plenty to get to today here on the Comment program on The Fan.
Help us thank the educators shaping our future. Nominate a public school teacher for Thank a Teacher, powered by Donor Shoes. They could win $5,000 for classroom needs. Visit iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
So that VRBO, I've never done a VRBO before. I have to do Peek at the Purple. Peek at the Purple is brought to you by our friends at, you guessed it, Affordable Electric. If something doesn't seem right, Tennessee, it's probably not. Affordable Electric handles emergency troubleshooting for flickering lights, dead outlets, hot switches, burning smells, and overloaded circuits. Sounds like the Vikings offense the past few weeks. Don't wait until a small price. You know what? It was really good last week. We've dumbed it down, and we're going to be really good. Affordable Electric, affordable-electric.com is the place to go. Affordable-electric.com, fast, reliable electric repair. And as always, remember, I've told you once, I've told you a couple 13, 14 times as I scramble to get Common Man page 2 up. They're shockingly affordable. I don't really know what to say about the Vikings, Tennessee. I think I received this text message from Ryan in Michigan, who's a regular listener. He writes, as a pretty darn passionate Vikings fan, I honestly beg you to talk about your vacation plans. We can give the club a rest for a while. # fatigue covenant. And I kind of tend to agree. Try it, and again, it beats working for a living. Work, but try talking about it every day, day after day after, and trying to put a different spin on it, which I'm not very good at. As we all know, I love to repeat myself. But yeah, it's just, to me, it's like, I know somebody sent me a text message the other day. Now, I know it's unlikely, but the Vikings could still make the playoffs. And then he spelled out everything that had to happen. And it's like, well, yeah, that's Age of Aquarius like. The moon has to be in the 7th house. Jupiter lines with Mars, right?
We are less than 1%.
Yeah,
in fact, we're going to get eliminated this week.
Yes. I mean, I get that it's not completely impossible. There is a way, but it ain't going to happen. But so really what we're doing.
It's this spring when we go to golf again, I could shoot a 58. It's possible. It's in the realm of possibility.
There's a better chance the Vikings make the playoffs.
I'm not sure there is.
Well, I've seen you play. And so we know what this season is about. It's about guys going on pretending they're 16 years old again. That's what I'd tell them. Pretend you're 16 years old. And don't be bored. Don't try to just get past these games and get to the, don't do like the Wolves. We don't want to play these games. We just want to get to the playoffs because you ain't getting to the playoffs anyways. And then it's really basically to see the progress that J.J. McCarthy makes. As we talked about yesterday, the Dallas defense is not very good. They're at the bottom of the pack in almost all the various statistics. Though, for 2 weeks they played better. I think they got a couple of players back. Their pass rush was better, but they're still not very good defensively. They do, though. They are in the hunt. They're in that category of in the hunt.
Yeah.
While they're on the outside looking in, but they still have a chance. So they're probably going to give it the old college try.
Heck, the way Philadelphia's going, they might not be out of that division.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Well, I've seen some people that want to, there are a couple of people predicting, and I think, everybody wants to be different. They're predicting the Raiders beating the Eagles in Philadelphia. I find that, as bad as Philadelphia has been, they can't lose to the Raiders at home. I suppose they could. We saw them lose 5 in a row 2 years ago. And then lost in the playoffs. I think they lost 4 in a row to close out the regular season, and then they lost their first playoff game. But nonetheless, I guess we're just waiting to see what happens. I know LaBelle wrote about it a couple of days ago, and I know it's always part of the discussion about. I'd like to see the best of both worlds would be is if McCarthy made real strides and started to figure things out, but we still lost, and we'd get a better draft pick, right? Because it's obvious, man. If you're the 11th pick, the 10th or 11th pick, you get J.J. McCarthy. If you're the second pick, you get Drake May. There's a big difference between 10 and 2. Right? So, the further up, doesn't guarantee anything, as we know. Just ask Kwesi, but. The worse your record, the better your draft pick, and that means for the second round as well, if you have a second round pick, and the third and all that. So it's cool, it's nice, but that would be the ideal circumstances. McCarthy looks good, but we drop a couple of games late, and we end up with, what do we have now? 5 wins.
We're at 5 and 8.
Yeah. I'd take 6 and 11, 17 games. I'd take 6 and 11. I'm sorry. I know that, wait, hold on. I'll do it for myself. No, we don't want to tank. We always want to win. There's no way. I know, like LaBelle explained, players don't really want to tank. There's pride. There's, putting out your work on tape. You want to put it on tape. It says you're looking for free agencies and looking for raises, right? You don't, players aren't going to tank, but front offices can. So,
well, we've now reached that point, though, where the odds of them getting into the top 10 are pretty slim, right? So it's a matter of whether you're 11 and 12 or maybe go to like 14, 15, 16. And at that point, I don't know if there's a whole lot of difference between some of those picks.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So the tanking, at this point, you might as well cheer for the team to win and hope J.J. McCarthy proves he can be your quarterback next year. You know, because there's 8 teams that are 3-10 or worse. Now, you ain't catching those teams.
Alan from Afton writes, if today's montage is not proof that Tennessee is on a pure progression from interim to full-time producer, I don't know what is. J.J. Mack lacks tennis consistency. We'd never used, I recognize the song immediately, one of my favorite bands of all time, Steely Dan. I think that was their very first hit song, Do It Again. And that's what you were asking the Vikings.
It's the only approach I could think of for this week.
Yeah.
Well, how else do you pump up that game?
Asking, imploring, begging. Do it again. I mean, that's great that you had a really good game plan. You executed. You dominated the game from start to finish. That's great, but let's go back. Mac, do it again.
Again.
And again.
Again.
And again. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. They're shockingly affordable. Short break, a little bit more, a little distat lat here on the fan.
Don't just sit at home. Come catch the Purple in action with us. Join Eric Nordquist at Gray's Food Hall this Sunday. Kickoff is just after 7 p.m. between Minnesota and Dallas. Food, drinks, and prizes every quarter. Get the details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Would you rather do that, or would you rather get on a charter plane and go down to Dallas and work the game like Chad Abbott has to do? Chris Hawkey's out. He generally he does the road games, and then Abbott gets to stay home.
Question, what time do they get to Dallas?
Well, they have to be at the airport Saturday at noon.
So I could get a Saturday late afternoon golf round in?
Well,
and a Sunday morning golf round in?
The sun goes down pretty early.
Well, you can play 36 Sunday with a night game. I think I'd go.
Oh, okay. Well, I hadn't thought of it that way. Yeah. Though I guess Sunday, I think the high is 40 degrees in Dallas. No! But you can still play. The game is played outdoors.
I have played winter golf in Dallas before, and the grass is all, it's just yellow. It's all dead.
Dormant.
Yeah, dormant.
The worst part is, guess what time he figures the plane will land coming back? About 3 a.m.
No!
I'll be at home watching it myself. There's VRBO, and what's the other one?
Well, I can't think of it right now. I've
that's
used
why
it
I couldn't
millions
either.
of times.
Yeah, I can't think of it either. There's VRBO, and then there's we're doing a VRBO. I've never done either. I've always done hotel. I've always gone Airbnb. I've always gone to Mr. Marriott's place or Mr. Hilton's place or Mr. whatever, right? I always stay at a hotel. Mr. Motel 6s, Mr. Motel 8, Mr. Holiday Inn. I mean, I don't really, I like to have nicer accommodations. I don't like roughing it. I mean, to me, roughing it is the Holiday Inn with the window open. Thank you. Copyright Alex Cole. How about this one? Tennessee. Do you know what La Quinta translates to in English?
I don't. What's that?
Next to Denny's. You've done VRBO? I've never done it.
We've done both, I think.
Here's what I like about it more than anything. I now know there won't be anybody right next door pounding on the walls, right? Because it's by itself. It's a standalone. The other thing, this is the most important ever. When you pack for a vacation, are you notoriously an overpacker, underpacker, or do you pack just about as much as you need?
I would say I'm a slight overpacker.
My boys can't believe what I pack. We're going for 4 days and you got 17 shirts, 8 pairs of pants. What are you doing? Well, I don't know what I'm going to wear. What if I spill on myself? But the beauty of the VRBO is they have a washing machine and dryer. So I'm going to, and it's going to be like it's going to be really hard for me. I might break out in hives. Because every time I go on a vacation, I say, I'm going to pack light this time. I'm really going to pack light. And I start out packing really light, and then I go, well, you know what? 6 more shirts won't be too bad. 8 more pairs of socks, because I don't know why I might need them.
Well, the thing with golfing, too, is you have to bring extra golf clothes. You have to bring extra golf shoes.
Correct.
So that packing's even...
Exactly, because I'm not going to wear, especially if it is in warm weather, you're gonna break a mild sweat playing golf out in the sun, right? Well, you're not going to wear that going out to eat for dinner. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. I got to change. And so, yeah, you have to pack. But now I can just throw it all in the washing machine. I'll still probably pack a few more than I need, but I'm actually...
You can just bring one outfit.
Well, you could bring one. Just one, and that's all you'd have to do. Though, we're playing at the same course, I think, about 3 days in a row, so the guy might go, why are you wearing the same thing every day? But anyway, yeah, so I'm looking for, but so the VRBOs, what I don't know about, people leave reviews, and most of them, at least at the place we're staying at, they were glowing, or, at least they were, but you never know until you get there, right? I mean, have you ever had
you also don't know how legit the reviews are.
Oh, right.
Right, like, could the positive reviews just be family members of the people that own the house?
Oh, right.
And could the negative reviews could be their competition down the block that want you to go to their place? Like, I don't know how seriously I'm supposed to take the reviews.
Yeah, they have the different price points. And again, I didn't want to, I don't need Taj Mahal, right? But I still want something okay. So I kind of go a little bit in, like if it's a 1 to 10, I try to get a 6 or a 7. Rather than a 2 or a 3 or a 9 or a 10,
Yeah.
6, 7.
6, 7.
6, 7, something like that. But I'm looking forward to that.
And we stay at the Airbnbs and the VRBOs quite a bit.
Okay.
Just because when you have a family of 5,
sure,
you want to have, we don't want to stay at a hotel where you're in one room and you've got all 3 kids in the same room as you.
Yeah.
So we always have to have separate rooms from them. And frankly, sometimes it's actually cheaper to go the VRBO route.
Okay.
Just you can, a lot of these places that are like tourist destinations.
Yeah.
And I don't know where in San Diego you are, but like if you're going to, like we're going to Disney World for spring break, or we went to Hawaii in the last year or 2. The food gets really, really expensive if you're eating out all the time. Whereas if you got the VRBO, you can just the first day you go there, you go to the grocery store and you got your food set up for the next 4 or 5 days, and it's reasonably priced.
Yeah. And my wife doesn't rattle the pots and pans enough at home, so we don't do it on vacation. No, but that's what we thought the same thing. I don't eat breakfast. My boys are just light breakfast eaters, right? And so is my wife. So it's like, well, I don't want to go out and eat breakfast, so you can just bring some things in for breakfast, and same with lunches, right? Bring in something you can eat lunch and then go out and have dinner, right?
Yeah, you just get some sandwich stuff.
Yeah, that's what we planned.
You got a banana that you got to make sure you peel from the right side.
Wait, how do you do that? What's
the monkey side?
Oh, that's right. Was one other thing I was going to say about. Have you ever? And
then for us, when we had young kids, the VRBO was nice because of all the stuff that I said you had to bring. You can have certain VRBOs that already have a crib there and already have a pack and play there, so you don't have to bring all that with you on the airplane.
Well,
so from that aspect, it was nice.
When we went to Palm Springs last year, we stayed at the JW. In the room, it's just small. There's 2 queen beds. Because I don't, it's just like, it's almost impossible to find 2 kings, and then 2 kings are a fortune. You got to get,
Yeah.
And for 2 grown boys, they're men now. They're young men. It's like they're sleeping together on a queen bed. There's no room to move in the room, right? Because it's just awful. My wife loves the trappings of the hotel, which I do too. Restaurant on site, swimming pool, but I don't.
Well, then all 4 of you have to share the same bathroom.
Oh,
and there's stuff all over the countertop.
It's disastrous. It really is. It's just not what I want to do. Yesterday, all
your troubles seem so far away.
Well, they did. Here's what happened. I left, got to my car, realized I left my lunch pail here back at the radio station. So I came back in, and it was here in the studio. And Barrera was in a break, and he goes, "I'm in the twilight zone." He was beside himself. I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, He was getting destroyed because he dared say he likes SGA and thinks he might be the MVP of the year, and he really likes Oklahoma State. Same thing you and I have been talking about the past few days or weeks. And I got the same thing. He said he was getting destroyed on text message. I had a couple people tell me, move to Oklahoma City if you like him so much. It's almost as if, and most of it is people, it seems like 6, 7 out of every 10 complaints is SGA's propensity. You know, I always call him SGA. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Do you know how it's pronounced?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I believe.
Is it Gilgeous? Because I didn't know how to pronounce that middle part.
I mean, I'm not the guy to ask when it comes to basketball pronunciation.
Try it again,
I wish
though.
Rosen was here.
Could you say it again, though?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In his propensity, if that's the right word, for flopping.
Foul baiting.
Yeah, foul baiting. And I was getting him, too. I had one person say, I could never watch them play basketball. Because of the foul baiting. They ruined the sport. And it's like, and this is the truth, and those people that feel that way know this. If he played for the Timberwolves and was doing that, you would love it. And just admit it. You would. You're mad because he does it. He's really good at it. The officials apparently buy into it, and they're 24-1, and they're the defending world champions. And you want the Wolves to be there because you've got a player that, while he might not be as good as Shai, he's pretty darn close. And some people might. Rosen would want him probably more than Shai. Rosen, there's not a player in the league I don't think Rosen would rather have than Anthony Edwards.
He'd rather have Anthony Edwards over prime Michael Jordan.
Yes. And there are a lot of other people that, well, nobody else feels that way, but there are other people that feel that they would rather have Anthony Edwards than pretty much any player in basketball. If Anthony Edwards did that, they'd be going, Ant did it again.
So savvy.
He's so savvy. And you just would. So don't pretend you wouldn't. And it's envy and jealousy. And I think most of the people that are complaining are basketball community people that are big Wolves fans. And there's envy and jealousy involved. And I get it. I mean, look, I'm a Vikings-Lions guy. I know people find it hard to believe you can like two teams that are rivals in the same division, but I was born in Detroit. Explain it for people that don't know. Born in Detroit, even though I moved to Minnesota when I was 5 years old, I just felt like because I was born in Detroit, that's where my loyalty should lie in sports, and that's been that way. I don't care about the Tigers or the Red Wings or the Pistons anymore, but I'm still a Lions fan, probably because they've never won the whole thing. And I'm a Vikings fan because I grew up here. I suffered through the 4 Super Bowl losses and all these extra NFC Championship game losses. But, you think I'm happy about Green Bay? I'm bitter. Rosen's like that now. Have you noticed he never, ever says anything positive about Green Bay? He can't bring himself to do it because that's that little kid in him and that hatred. Is, I got to hate Green Bay because of Green Bay. Well, I'm with you. I hate Green Bay. But I can look at him and say, like I said, when I said, I bet Green Bay fans are pretty happy they've got Jordan Love, and he mumbled under his breath on air, for now anyway, because he can't accept the fact that Jordan Love is a pretty good quarterback. And again, is he going to go down as the greatest of all time? No. And does he have flaws? Yes. And where will he lead this team? I don't know, but I'd rather have him than probably 20 other starting quarterbacks in the league, and maybe even more than that. If you put all the starting quarterbacks, in a row, he'd be a top 10 for me, and maybe in that middle of that top 10 or pretty close.
Sure.
Right? So, I think that's what it is. Hey, here's somebody right here. This person says, Ant is better than SGA. He doesn't get calls because he's way bigger and has more muscle. Well, getting calls doesn't. It's
not a strength thing.
Yeah, and getting calls
it's
doesn't.
It's a flopping foul baiting thing.
And getting calls doesn't determine whether you are a better player than the other guy. Ant's brilliant. We know that, but he doesn't have the consistency that SGA. SGA has now had 96 or 97 games in a row where he scored 20 points or more. That's the longest streak in NBA history, other than, I think it's, was it Wilt? One of the big guys had like 125 in a row, 135, something like that. So, and you can make it, if you like Ant better, I mean, they're both close. I mean, and when you take those shooting guards / point guards, the very best in the league. You could make arguments for any of them. But SGA does have a ring, and that team's really good, and they're 24-1 right now. All I know is when the Wolves played the Suns on, I think it was Monday, they lost by 3 at home. 2 days later, when the Thunder played the Suns in that NBA Cup quarterfinals, they won by 51 points. So,
but didn't we play OKC and lose by like 4?
Yeah.
So,
and so what that shows is, and this is what I was trying to explain to Rosa, because that's what he brought up as well. That means we have the ability, the talent, the wherewithal to play with Oklahoma City, but we don't want to bring that every night. We only want to bring it when we play the really good teams. As Ant said, it seems like we don't want to play these games. We want to just get right to the playoffs. I like Friday's show best because the weekend's here. I really don't want to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shows. I'd rather just do Thursday, Friday, right? Same thing, right? I always want to get to the end of the week. They just want to get to the end of the season. So I guess I understand it. But it's really difficult to... It appears, because Ant even said this, he said, and I'm paraphrasing, it was in that same story where he talked about not wanting to play these games. He said, it is difficult to just wait for the playoffs and then flip a switch and play defense and all of that like you're supposed to. It's something you got to build a consistency to and play all year. You got to approach each game with a professionalism and a desire to play at your best. And there are going to be days when you're just not as good as the other team. That's just the way it is. Or not even just days where you are just not as good as the other team day in, day out. If you play them 10 times, you're going to lose 6, 7. That's just the way it is. But it shouldn't be for lack of effort or not wanting to play. You
should almost respect OKC.
Yeah.
That because the Wolves are not alone in terms of being. We've seen this forever in the NBA for the last 30 years. Yeah, pretty much post Michael Jordan, maybe even post Kobe Bryant. The league has been littered with teams that just coast through the regular season and then they play for the playoffs.
Yep.
And the Wolves are one of those teams.
Yeah.
And props to OKC that after winning an NBA championship, they easily could have become one of those teams.
They could have, absolutely.
They could have just coasted through the season, be the 3rd seed, and then they just turn it back on come playoff time, and they have not done that.
Wolves tonight, do they take on Golden State? Is that correct? Do I have that correct? I think it's tonight. I think they play Golden State. Golden State's had their struggles.
9 o'clock start tonight.
That's a team that could be bored too, right? I mean, you win 4 championships, and you know that you're
they just may be old.
Well, I was going to say, you know you're aging, and so it's a little more difficult. You probably see that the writing.
Father time.
Yeah, is on the. He's starting at center and point guard for Golden State. Meanwhile, you're Wild.
Big win.
They beat the hated Dallas Stars, the team that took our name, the franchise that left town. They didn't do it under the cover of darkness, though. That's a big win, right? I read in the Gamer, Fish Wrap Factory, West Side. We seem to do a little Timberwolves thing as far as we've lost to 2 mediocre clubs lately, right? But all the really good teams, we seem to rise to the occasion because of our last 5, 6 wins, haven't they been against some of the best teams in the league?
Yeah, obviously we had the 2 losses against
mediocre clubs.
Calgary and Vancouver, who at both the time were last place in their division. I'm trying to recall who else they've beaten in the last. I can't even remember back past.
They beat the Lanch.
Yeah, that was back on.
No, but isn't that within their last 5, 6, 7 games? I think, isn't it? I mean,
that was back on Black Friday. So I guess if that's within that time range, then yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Dallas is one of the top teams in the National Hockey League. They had 11 game point streak going into the game, and have been kind of a nemesis for the Wild, not only in the playoffs but also in the regular season. The last couple of years, they've always had the Wild's number, and. I don't know, it was an interesting game because I thought the Wild were pretty good from the get-go. They were out shooting them early on, outplaying them in the first period. And, the Wild are shorthanded as well. Zuccarello's not playing. Middleton's not playing. Already without Foligno. And there was a point in that game last night, a huge moment where Dallas had scored to make it 2-1 on a goal Gus Bus should have had. Just shot from the point. He wasn't screened. Goaltending's been pretty good over the last month and change, but that was on the goalie. They're down 2-1. And then Dallas scores again on another one where Gus was just completely sliding out of the net, which is very unlike him. He's usually square to the shooter and not making big types of movement, but basically gave an open net up because he over pursued the puck. And you're going 3-1, you go, oh, here we go again. It's pretty disheartening to be out playing a team and then have your goalie give up 2 bad soft goals. Well, the video coordinator who keeps earning his job, they review, they challenge for offsides. It is offsides. So that was a point in the game where you would have been down 2 goals after giving up 2 really, really bad goals, and you start thinking it's not your night. Well, the goal comes back off the board, Wild tie it up, and then they end up scoring in the third period there before adding the 2 empty netters. So, Matt Boldy was spectacular last night, had a goal and 2 assists. His assist was brilliant. JoJo, a guy who the Wild signed for $800,000 this offseason, and fans were mad about it. He's almost at like a point per game basis this year. He's been terrific. So looks like they got another injury potentially from last night. They called up David Juracek today. The Brodin might be banged up. So they got to battle through some injuries here. But as long as Boldy and Kaprizov are healthy and the goaltending stays solid, they can weather these storms.
So those Wild fans that were angry that we signed JoJo for $800,000 are similar to the Packer fans who were bitter when the Packers drafted Jordan Love as their next franchise quarterback. They wanted a wide receiver. Are they still mad now? As a matter of fact, do you think these Wild fans that were mad for giving JoJo $800,000?
He's one of the best bargains in the National Hockey League right now. He's basically making minimum wage.
Here's what Sarah McClellan wrote today. She said, this continued their curious trend of the Wild struggling against the bottom of the league, but surging versus the top. The Wild defeated top 10 teams in Anaheim, Colorado, Carolina, Islanders, and Vegas before adding Dallas to their resume while ending the Stars' 11-game point streak with Dallas's only second regulation loss on the road. The Wild were back home to begin a 4-game homestand after splitting their last road trip because of back-to-back losses to last-place Calgary and Vancouver. So good for them. Wolves in action tonight. Vikings, you'll hear it on this radio station. Sunday, we'll be waiting all day for Sunday night. Coverage at 5, kickoff at 7:20. Chad Abbott will arrive home about 3 a.m. from Dallas. He's excited about that. Are we doing a little 5-3-4 that will be?
Yeah.
What you got?
We can get through it. He likes us. He really likes us.